So my name is Monica McDaniel, and I am running for Chico City Council for District 3. I'm currently the current sitting chair of the Chico Arts Commission, and so running for City Council is a natural progression for people who've been supporting the city for as long as I have.
Yeah, awesome. Well, tell me a little bit why you wanted to run for City Council.
So I wanted to run for City Council because I wanted to make a difference in the city. Like I said, I've been volunteering for the city for 13 years. This is my 5th term on the Chico Art Commission. And so during that time, I've learned about how the city works, and I've learned about grant funding allocations and budgets and policy making. And so I know I can make a difference on the council to serve the greater community and not just the arts coalitions and organizations.
Yeah, are you from Chico?
I'm originally from Southern California. I'm from a little town called Claremont, which is a lot like Chico, but it's in SoCal. And so that's why I wanted to move to Northern California. I've lived here for almost 30 years. I'm a graduate of Chico State. And so I've been here for more than half my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit your stance on the major issues. So, usually you first talk about homelessness. How will you help the cause of homelessness in the city of Chico?
So I've known all along, or believed all along, that there's already organizations that are supporting homelessness in Chico. So interagency collaboration is what's important. Also supporting city staff who are trying to help these organizations get funding for their good work that they're doing in Chico. Is everything. I was just talking with members of CHAT and learning about some of the challenges that they have in getting federal and county dollars. And a lot of it has to do with our city being understaffed in the housing department. And those are the people who are trying to help us, and we need to support them more.
Yeah, do you have any endorsements? What are people kind of backing you? How did you build those relationships?
So I'm endorsed by several past mayors of the city of Chico. They're the people who asked me to run for council in the first place because of the good work I was doing on the Arts Commission. And so I'm endorsed by Andy Holcomb, Michael McGinnis, Ann Schwab, and other David Gazzetti. Past leadership from council are the people who are endorsing me mostly. Alex Brown also is endorsing me. And so current and past council members. I'm also endorsed by the Federal Labor Union, by the Nurses Union, by the Healthcare Coalition, and others. There's been so many, it's just been one of those things where I've talked to everybody who's asked me to, and most people have endorsed me.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit how about you built those relationships, like with the council and with healthcare.
So I built those relationships just by the work I was doing on the commission, because everything is interrelated in the city, and so it's not just staying in your own lane. You have to work with other agencies for policy and different things. And so that's how I built a lot of those relationships. It's just my own hard work and being involved and talking to constituents and figuring out what I can do to help people with the different problems that face Chico.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about what you think of, public safety, crime, police, things like that. Another major issue in the city right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I talk to the public, my biggest issue is public safety. And public safety has so many different facets. Of course, we think of the police force. So I've talked with the police force, and they did give me a financial support for my campaign because they believe in the work that I'm doing. I did also speak with the fire department. And I learned things that I didn't know as just a regular citizen. And the big one is we're here in Verbena Fields. Allie is working to restore this natural riparian habitat. Verbena Fields connects with the Rio Lindo Channel, which is the big geographical feature of my district. Lindo Channel is overgrown by trees that create a huge fire hazard, and then a lot of the homeless population that's been displaced from other parts of the city are seeking shelter there, which adds to the crime and fire problems there. So those are a lot of things that I've been focusing on, is how to keep the public safe in this variety of ways, by working with these agencies that are already doing this work.
Yeah, another big issue, drought in agriculture, especially here in North Chico. Tell me a little bit about, your approach to that.
So I can't make it rain as much as I'd like to. I've learned also from Allie that drought is one problem. Drought is cyclical in California. We as Californians know that drought comes and goes, and this isn't the first time we've seen drought. Of course, citizens can help with that by doing water saving techniques in their homes, and that's one piece of it. But the water in this area is also critical for a variety of reasons. One of them is that we need to support the Tusquin Aquifer to feed all these oak trees. If the water level drops too low, these oak trees won't be able to drink from the aquifer, and we could lose our valley oaks. That's one piece of it that's underground. Above ground, with the drought that's been happening, in combination with the burn scar upstream, and then levees that were built in the 50s by the Army Corps of Engineers, we could have a flood problem on our hands. And that's something that Allie's gotten me really present to. And it's not something a lot of people are talking about, but they should be. We've been warned to get flood insurance, but this is a problem for everybody because neither fire or water discriminates how much money you have or what kind of house you have. It's going to affect everybody in the city, and that's really important. That's a huge piece of public safety, is prevention against disasters that could occur.
Yeah, what are a few things that make you unique as a candidate?
What makes me unique as a candidate is the work that I've already been doing in terms of creative solutions. So during my work with my commission, I've collaborated with a variety of people to create policy. I've been able to reach across the aisle to create solutions for my commission, and that's one thing that makes me unique, is that I'm a listener and a collaborator, because I'm more interested in what's going to be good for the whole community. I studied art at Chico State. Artists are creative problem solvers, and that's what makes me unique, is that I'm looking for creative solutions to our community's problems.
Yeah, can you speak also to more of your experience, maybe working, being part of the city, like you said, you said you worked in art and everything like that. Reiterate a little bit more about how, your work experience makes you right for the job.
So I'm serving my third term as chair of the Arts Commission. When you're the chair of a commission, you direct the agenda, you collaborate with people. One of the big pieces of work I did on the commission is I fulfilled Article number 5 of the city's Fine Arts Master Plan, which was to create a nonprofit organization that would be a fundraising auxiliary to the commission's work. So it's not about just asking for money from the city, it's more about generating resources for the organizations that I'm working with. And that makes me wholly unique because I've already been doing this work for the community in this one particular sector, and I can see the need for that in other sectors, especially to support the homeless situation. So creative problem solving has really fostered my work, and I intend to bring that energy to council.
Awesome. And then, talk to me a little bit about the politics, kind of a partisan nature of politics right now, and how you hope to, lower that gap.
So the problem with partisan politics is that when either side gets their way, then there's another side that didn't get their way. And so that's not actually healthy for a community. During my 5 terms on the commission, I've seen all conservative councils, I've seen all liberal councils, and there needs to be more collaboration between the two sides so that effective solutions can happen for the whole city. Because when one side or the other gets their way, that's how we've seen some of the mistakes that we're currently seeing in the city, and wasted taxpayer dollars and lawsuits, that if there was more communication and collaboration among council members with other members of the community, I think that some of those mistakes wouldn't have been made.
Awesome. And then, can you talk about a little bit, you wanted to discuss the hit pieces against you?
Yeah. So 2 hit pieces came out against me this weekend, which shows me that they're afraid of me getting elected, sort of flattering in its own way, but they couldn't be further from the truth. One of the pieces is about Needles in the Park, which is not even a city-run agency. That's a state-fund agency that has since stopped servicing clients in the park. And so that's important to recognize that while we still need to clean up the park and clean up our green spaces and restore these ecosystems, their needles, as far as I know, haven't been distributed in the park for a couple of years now. So that's just a complete misnomer. And then the other one is the other misnomer about me was that I would somehow support camping in the park, which couldn't be further from the truth. Another impetus for me to run was that my elderly mother was living across the street from the park, and she didn't feel safe going into the park when there were encampments there. And so we need to support Bidwell Park, Verbena Fields, Rio Lindo Channel, and the city can actually get carbon credits for the restoration of these riparian habitats, and that can help fund other services like meaningful housing opportunities for the homeless population. So it's all interconnected, and trying to isolate any one problem of the city really cuts out the bigger picture and the more holistic resolution of these problems.
Is there anything else you would like to add or discuss at all?
I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to these different things. That's the other thing about running for council is there can be assumptions made about you, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to speak to these truths and to speak to my intentions for wanting to serve the community. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ms. McDaniel. That's a pleasure.
Absolutely.